What in the world happened here? Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that Illusion Gate button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Well, anybody surprised to see Illusion Gate coming in nearly at $30 over the course of the weekend here? Because I certainly am shocked about this. Illusion Gate was formerly coming in at, you could get them for like $11 a couple weeks back. And then progressively, Genesis format started talking about it being one of the best cards in Genesis. We saw the card hit like $15 to $16. And that was about 2-ish weeks ago. Well, we hit this weekend and suddenly this card has $28 to $29 to $30 price point just on the secret rare. So what's going on with this? Well, players are starting to figure out that Ghost Spell might not be seeing quite as much play as a lot of the player base was originally kind of anticipating that it would have. You know, getting your Illusion Gate Ghost Spelled, just you look at your opponent and you're like, I've activated Illusion Gate twice in my life, and it has not resolved. It has been ghost spelled twice. So, like, while I think the card does feel incredibly powerful for what it's able to do and what it's able to work with, I gotta say at this point, though, it's just a little bit off-putting, to say the least. So, I don't know, man. I think Illusion Gate is a great card. It has definitely shown itself to be worthy of the price point. I'm surprised with where we are at the moment, because Muertos was opened up a decent amount, and I guess we're just now at the point that, you know, people aren't opening up Muertos anymore, so we're just kind of going to be, you know, seeing this card cruise control through the WCQ season, probably as a very solid $25 plus card for a while. Let's talk about Rockets. So, out of the weekend here, the OCG finally got all of the new Rivals Overframe Collection cards. And with it, we got to see, well, Rockets have been doing, they've been doing all right in the OCG. They've been doing enough to the point that, you know, it kind of looks fun, dare I say. And that's kind of what I've been wanting to see. Was I was hoping that, you know, Rockets would kind of have a little bit of an uptick so that we could say, go pick up your Rocket cards. Now, my counter argument to every other time I have said, you know, beware of Rockets, is we do have to be a little bit afraid of the dear old angry Alba Lenitus lurking in the background. But you do have ways to handle post the Rivals. You do have ways to kind of handle some of these set monster options that your opponent might be producing. You know, it's not a game over if your opponent, you know, sets Alba Lenitus against you. Because, like, at that stage, then I'd be a little bit scared out of my mind of what's going to come. But that's not necessarily the world that we're in right now. I do just want to say, like, we've already seen things like Rocket Loader kind of starting to gain some price, which is not surprising when you've got players out here that are, you know, potentially wanting to build Rockets as a future metagame contender. So, out of everything from the Rivals, I do honestly feel like Rockets were probably the best deck from the new support. Don't get me started on Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes has been doing pretty good as well in terms of things, but that's a story for another day. So keep an eye on your Rocket cards and your Blue Eyes cards, people, because they are lurking around. Maybe you're not happy to hear that, but they are. Let's talk about Sky Strikers and budget Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. So, what was it, about a week or so ago, Shunping came through topped with one whole modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck out of the box. Showcase to the player base, hey, if you guys know what you're doing, you know, I mean, good player, bad cards, curving out the deck, you can do decently well with the deck out of the box. And it was a good example of, you know, hey, budget Yu-Gi-Oh! Does in fact still exist in the current modern era. And one of the things that I kind of saw with people trying to, like, debate this whole thing was like, well, you know, Shunping's a good player. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point of showcasing this. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game where, you know, dare I say, skill level needs to be involved. I mean, hey. Oh, Robbie, why are you off screen talking about skill level? As somebody that cannot show his face for having no skill, you know, I mean, but truthfully though, you need to have some level of skill in this game, or the game it's gonna kind of fall apart on you. That's just how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. You cannot expect to do good at this game without reading your cards. I know, such a bad concept. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players learning how to read. We talk about this and we joke about this, but like, this has been a very big problem with the game. Players just looking at cards and just being like, oh, I don't know what these do. And then they're just surprised Pikachu-faced when they're not able to do anything. But this was about Budget Yu-Gi-Oh! Budget Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very much alive. You do have to, you know, have a little bit of an idea of what your cards do, though. Because if you don't, it's just going to fall apart on you. Like, that's all there is to it at the moment. I do think the concept of the $30 budget deck is an amazing one for Yu-Gi-Oh! It's something that we have deserved to have for so long. Good stuff, Konami. Let's talk about the quarter-century Stampede market. If you've not been paying attention to good old Stampede, and actually just some of the quarter-century products in general, you're going to notice something pretty interesting happening. And it is, where did product go? Where is all of this, you know, where are all these products vanishing off to? Well, we have this nice little thing involved right now in our collector's market called the Scalperinos. The Scalper Bros have actually been picking up a lot of the little extra product that's been kind of floating around on the market, and we've been seeing just a lot of people surprised Pikachu-faced that this stuff has been disappearing off of the market. I don't know why we're surprised that this is happening, because, like, Logan Paul promoted the game. Eyes are on the game. The investor bros are running around right now wanting to pick up stuff for the game. Like, why is this a new and exciting and yet hard to grasp concept? I know, back off the screen again, because oh my gosh, he's a scalp. No. Honestly, quarter century boxes being like $140, $150 for some of these. Some of them were close to MSRP, some of them have been disappearing. Rarity 2 is the haha funny, because ain't nobody wanting to pick that up. I feel like even the scalpers don't want to touch Rarity 2. So there's that. But the product has been bumping up a pretty decent amount as of the last little block of time. And I just want to warn people, you've got to keep an eye on these rarity collections, man. If you're not keeping an eye on these, and you're just like, oh my gosh, you know, what happened here? Surprise! Collectors picked up the product. Don't even get me started on 25th boxes, man. Like, that's another crazy part. And I also wanted to give a little inclusion here for Chuck Norris. Over the weekend, Chuck Norris ended up passing away, which is kind of like our generation's hero, you know, in all of the memes that Chuck could do. I was curious, because, you know, this is the What in the World Happened video. I went on eBay and I was looking at, like, some of the signed Chuck Norris cards that existed. And honestly, some of them are kind of expensive, man. Wanting to get, like, a Chuck Norris signed Field Center is going to cost you, like, $300, which is a stupid amount of money for something that really, I mean, we're at the phase now to where, you know, you're going to have eyes on the Chuck Norris market because, you know, he recently passed away, but you will have a time where those eyes are going to kind of fade away from that, just as we narrow further away from the event. So maybe in a year or two, you might be able to get something a little bit cheaper as people kind of forget about Chuck Norris, which is kind of sad to say, but it's the inevitability of the market in its own. But I did really want something signed by him. That did seem like something really, really cool. There's a lot of cool Topps cards out there signed by Chuck, and honestly, I think it'd be something just really cool to have for collectability's sake. You know, you don't really get the chance to see that all that much. So please, F's down in the comment section for Chuck. It was a sad, sad time. So please, leave a comment down below. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.